Okay, obviously we don't. So slight ground rules, guys. It's a large audience. Let's be mindful of it. If you need to speak something, kindly unmute yourself. I have dedicated some session for discussion. So initially it's going to be 90 minutes. Let's try to focus out at least 70 minutes. Like let's try to focus on the subject matter itself. And I would expect everyone to have logged in using the laptop. In case you have not, this is still the time you can log in through your laptops, because analytics and data is something which you learn while doing it. So now an interesting question. And I see we have got a very interesting crowd. We have got people who have just begun their career. At the same time, we have got people who are almost at the CHRO positions, people who are at the HR head positions. Some of the alums who are interested in this particular course have already retired, but still they want to understand the technology. So why do we? So why so much of enthusiasm? One, guys, it's about relevance now. It's rightly about relevance. Now, data centricity would be a defining factor, not only in HR, but in all the functions. Operations, MBA from NITI, no longer that's going to be something which would be giving you a direct shot. You have to have some understanding about AI, some understanding about data. Finance, सब आता है technologically you are CA, it doesn't really, to a level it will help, but over a period of time, not right now, but in next 3 4 years, that's going to come. I've been speaking to global teams. Initially, the HR, which used to be always averse of data, now the CHRO is in no position to say, I'm going to go with my guts. Everything has to be now data driven, because that's the persuasion coming from boards, that's the persuasions coming from the community. So just a small query. How many of you use the AI and the generative AI very regularly? Can you respond on the chat? How many of you? Okay, Vishal, Prasanna, Lavanya, Prashanti, Anvesha, Rohan, Ajinkya. So a lot of you, right? Aditya. Okay. So is it better when it comes with if I really compare the AI part, is AI making you more productive? Definitely it is. I'm just giving you the rough estimation, AI plus human. And by human, I mean somebody who has been using the technology, has been a proponent of technology, investing a lot of time. So it is not just कि एक दिन में एक बार chat GPT use कर लिया. No, not that. Somebody who has integrated the work will be more productive than 10 humans. And it's a very conservative estimates. Guys, I know I might be sounding across somebody who's trying to sell you shill about technology, nothing of that sort. I've seen it happen. Recently, if you look at yesterday's news, Google had fired some teams. Now they would be pointing about that it's a strategic decisions. Nothing is strategic decisions, guys. Now the generative AI is coming in. Now, because of the automation, you don't require that many coders. Going forward, we have the coding capability has improved to a level जहां आपको 100 कोडर लगते थे वहां पे 5 कोडर से काम हो जाएगा. अभी हम इंडिया में नहीं देख रहे हैं बिकॉज ऑफ द फैक्ट इंडिया में किसी को अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होगी इतनी लेवल की. दे आर नॉट रियली ट्राइंग आउट. बट इन द वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड वेयर आई एम रियली कनेक्टेड, आई एम सीइंग अ लॉट ऑफ tectonic shifts happening. And ये coding तो just one of the areas है. I do follow and I do keep sharing a thought leader, Andrews Horn. Some days back, he posted how ChatGPT had taken out the photographers. Now, using your old photographs, I am now able to generate any kind of photograph. If you want to generate a photograph, even for a passport interview, you'll be able to generate it. आप अपने कोई casual दो तीन selfie डाल दो and you'll be able to generate that. So now, with a click of one particular program, now generative AI is replacing a lot of it. In HR, that may not happen, but you would be on the receiving side, or you would be on the side of facilitating these changes that would be happening around. Okay, be more proactive around it, if, and especially for people who are working in technology, guys, understand there would be a lot of headcount reductions that are going to come in, and you need to have a problem solving mindset. Any queries so far, guys? If you have a query, I'll request you to kindly raise your hand. Okay. So now, when I began, initially there was only four types of analytics: descriptive analytics, diagnostic analytics, prescriptive, predictive. Generative का नाम लेते थे वो लोग, but generative था नहीं उस टाइम पे. I'm talking about 2019. So what exactly is descriptive analytics? Rishi, can you unmute people? So what do you think is descriptive analytics? Guys, what do you think is the generative and sorry, what do you think is descriptive analytics? Anyone wants to respond? Lavanya. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so descriptive analytics is something that you do a post facto analysis of what had happened and
Mhm.
maybe put it in a presentable format briefly related to any function or any sort of event.
Mhm. All right. Fantastic. Anyone else wants to so Lavanya, you can mute yourself. Anyone else wants to respond to this query? Okay, ठीक है, no worries. We are a bit running short on time, so ठीक है. I am not really expecting too much of participation and especially interaction here, because I have got some specific agenda that needs to be taken care of, especially with some of the tools. Now, so descriptive, Lavanya has nicely pointed out. What is diagnostic? I'll take one response for each of them. What is diagnostic? Lavanya. Okay, Sachin. Yeah, Sachin.
So the way I understand is in descriptive analytics, we have current status. Why and I mean what is the current status of the data? In
Mhm.
diagnostic, we try to understand why it happened, how it reached to the current stage, in
Okay.
current form.
Okay, fantastic. What about prescriptive? नीचे लिखा हुआ है. Okay, ठीक है. Okay, Anvisa, you can unmute yourself, Anvisa. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks, Vimal. So, what I understand prescriptive as something that the data gives as a suggestion, like same as a doctor gives a prescription.
Mhm.
And probably the higher level will be a predictive analytics. For example, modern example is when you log into your Zepto, Amazons of the world, and if you've ordered a certain product, let's say ice cream, they will offer you the next sort of product, similar ice cream, similar flavors, etc. That's predictive analytics, is what I understand.
All right. So what would be generative? If somebody else wants to take that query, what exactly is generative? You guys are spot on. But anyways, I'll explain each of these terms and what it really means in HR.
In terms of generative, Vimal, again, what I understand is what we see today is essentially how the neural networks work. In terms of you have trained a certain network to behave or to analyze the data in a particular way. How does it kind of learn on its own through feedback loop? That could be the basis of generative analytics.
All
Like
right.
we process, like a small child knows that this is a hot thing, should not be touched. The intelligence is developed, and hence the generative analytics
Exactly, यार.
generates
हमेशा
something.
it's I'll say something very controversial. अगर मैं बोल दूंगा तो मुझे मारेंगे सब.
Okay.
Chat GPT is a massively trained chat bot. That's it. उसमें कोई
Yeah.
इंटेलिजेंस नहीं है अभी तक as of now. It's being massive data. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Agree to
वो
that.
basis आपके जो भी आपने डेटा डाला हो, whatever data you have
Mm.
done there,
Yeah.
it's associating the different elements and generating the one which it thinks would be the most relevant for that context, nothing else. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Anusha. Now let me still define it around what you're talking about in descriptive, diagnostic, prescriptive, and predictive. So descriptive is like area. Descriptive would be something your top talent is running away, right? There is another person who was given chairman's award last time is has resigned, and this is seventh or eighth. So somebody who's just pointing out this is happening. It's like WHO in November 2019. There is something happening. You don't know what exactly it is, but you are able to observe there's something happening. That is descriptive analytics, right? Then you have diagnostic happening analytics, where you go and you start try to understand why is it happening. So there you go and do some root cause analysis as everyone was talking about RCA. You understand the data. You can use qualitative, quantitative, whatever methods which suits you and your budget, your time, and you do a diagnostic around why it is happening. Prescriptive would be, hey, listen, we are an Indian IT company. We are right now working in somewhere in the services sector. US market is not doing well, so that means we will not be getting too much of projects. So a lot of emphasis needs to be given in terms of upskilling. That is prescriptive. Predictive is Trump hitting the starting the trade war and somebody predicting the world economy now from in next 5 months or 7 months. Okay, prescriptive. So prescriptive is in which it's not a coincidence. It's actually taken from the medical terminologies, guys. Descriptive, diagnostic, prescriptive. तीनों के तीनों मेडिकल टर्मिनोलॉजी है. डॉक्टर आता है, सबसे पहले आप डॉक्टर से बात करते हो, राइट? You say, I had fever for last 2-3 days. I was having body pain. That is descriptive analytics. Diagnostic is doctor running some tests. Malaria, it's possible it's malaria, it's possible it's chikungunya. That is diagnostic, where you are getting a lot of data. And interestingly, diagnostic analytics, all these reports, the blood report and other parts, these are still reports where basis the cutoff, a decision needs to be made whether it's positive or it's negative. I'm sure you would have seen the COVID test, a lot of you. There was a certain value above which it was taken positive. So that is diagnostic analytics. Prescriptive is what should be done in this case. So here, when you have, if I go back to my original example, in which you have your top talent employees leaving, that means, and in diagnostic, you come to know it's happening because of the fact there's a lot of confusion around the career pathing. Prescriptive would be you you're designing a career pathing and actively reaching out to your top talent and telling them about the career paths. That is prescriptive. Being very proactive. That is prescriptive side. Predictive is where you are using unrelated data. Sorry, I'm so sorry. You're using unrelated data, and there you are able to make certain conclusions about it. Okay, just to give you an example, people in US are talking about we are almost at the paper recession because XYZ is not happening. Car sales have come down, paper printing sales have come down. So that means it is likely in next 2 3 months or 2 3 years we are in recession. So that's predictive analytics. But again, your model's accuracy is says a lot. ठीक है, आप भी एस्ट्रोडॉग बन सकते हो और आप भी बोल सकते हो, एक जेनरिक सा बोल सकते हो, आपको दुविधा आने वाली है. Interestingly, I was reading a one book on neurology, and that person had written a fantastic prediction on astrology. And if anybody reads it, it looks like wow, he really knows me. So that's not predictive analytics. Predictive analytics is telling with confidence level, 95% confidence, 99% confidence. You did this. In 2021, people were predicting we will have a trouble by 2025, looking at the quantitative easing of treasury bonds, quantitative easing, looking at the how the money was being generated. People were able to predict we will have trouble by 2025. It is no doubt, it is not Trump factor. It's because of the fact that it's like a machine where you have really put in a lot of fuel, thereafter the engine starts warming up. That's economy. And somebody predictive in 2021, what is going to happen in 2025 is predictive analytics. See, you will always have soothsayers, and people will always, there would be yes and a no side. When I'm talking about AI, there are tens of people who are shutting me saying कि AI नहीं आ रहा है. See, either of it's a binary. All the decisions are binary, either yes or no. Okay. So the predictive analytics is using all those data and predicting it right. Okay. Generative is you have a lot of data. ठीक है, जैसे if I just go and type to chat gpt, I want to write a love letter to my let's say a partner XYZ. So it will, basis my commands, it will start putting up its own existing trained data. So love letter means people need to talk about emotion. So what are the emotional word? Love, care, all these would be popped up. So I के बाद love आना चाहिए. That is more again a predictive. Somebody is talking about love, and so what exactly? So if somebody had said I need to talk about love, and I've written a word I, so it is going to predict the next word is going to be love. It's going to predict the next word is going to be you. Now, what is it doing is it's actually predicting each word, but it's happening very fast. You're not able to perceive it. And that's the beauty of it. Okay? Clear so far? Any other doubts around this? See, what is concerning is we are still in the phase of diagnostic. मैं तो diagnostic भी बोल रहा हूँ, वो भी I'm being bit biased and trying to save our faces. We are actually at the descriptive. क्या हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है करके we still in India HR we are still talking about it. The world has actually moved towards, especially the sales and marketing side of it. They have moved towards the predictive analytics. People are trying generative analytics, जहां AI agents ये सब की बात हो रही है, but अभी तक world is still in the predictive analytics. ठीक है? So any specific reason you think we are still in the mindset we are still in the we are still behind the this particular curve. Anyone wants to think about it? Why are we still at a much lower level at the maturity curve? Anyone wants to respond? Should I move ahead? Lack of vision, knowledge. Yes, Aditya. A lot of it is actually related to data fluency. We too many manual processes, system is concerned. Yes, that's right. Okay, no worries. Due to quality of data, not exactly. It's also about data fluency. A lot of our HR leaders who have actually they have been able to take the leadership positions where the world was slightly different, but now the world has actually changed. And when everyone is moving towards the data, but because of the fact that the leadership does not understand and appreciates the data, anyone who does that work around data and AI is being seen as a nerd and is not being properly promoted within the organization. That's one of the reasons. So data fluency is a major challenge. Other part is confusion. यार आप वर्ल्ड में किसी भी आप जाओ बीसीजी के किसी पार्टनर को लेके आ जाओ और उसको बोल दो कि 3 लाइन में आप एआई डिफाइन करके बता दे. आई एम टॉकिंग इवन अबाउट ओके आई एम टॉकिंग इवन अबाउट यूएस. आप नहीं करा पाओगे. दैट इज बिकॉज nobody has come to a specific agreed upon definition. ठीक है. Let's move ahead. Got some. So the complexity increases.